The Last American President. By Anna von Reitz. The last man to officially serve as President of our American Federal Republic was Franklin Pierce, who was the 14th President thereof. The last man to serve as the actual American President, that is, the President of the United States of America, our Federation of Organic States, was a black man named Charles Wilson, the great-grandson of George Washington's aide de camp. After that, all focus shifted to territorial politics and territorial presidents, like Franklin Pierce's successor, James Buchanan, a hard-drinking bar attorney, and his immediate successor, Abraham Lincoln, another bar attorney. Buchanan set a precedent that Lincoln took advantage of. Both men knew that they could not serve as American presidents, nor as presidents of the Federal Republic, thanks to the 1819 ratification of the Titles of Nobility Amendment and its addition to the Federal Republic Constitution. That is, the Constitution for the United States of America. So they served as presidents of the Territorial, District of Columbia, government instead, a distinction that many Americans were totally unaware of then or now. The territorial government presides over the District of Columbia Territory and is a municipal corporation styling itself as a democracy since 1801. This is the entity that Donald J. Trump was the 45th president of, and that's why they describe him as President of the United States of America, instead of President of the United States, Joe Biden's equally foreign municipal corporation office. My point to Americans and everyone else worldwide is that these municipal commercial services corporations are not our government. They are subcontractors of our actual government, at best, and the evidence we've examined indicates that they are nothing but run-amok municipal corporations housed in the District of Columbia, trying to assert that they are successors to our constitutional contracts without the nicety of fulfilling and honoring those contracts. We allowed the District of Columbia Territory to exist. We allowed them to charter their municipal corporation and organize their separate government functions, only to have our erstwhile employees usurp against their employers and benefactors. They have done so under the misdirection of foreign principals who likewise owe us good faith and service. The good news is that America is still competent to bring its own nation-states of the Union into session and operate its organic states of the Union, and we have the absolute right to enforce the constitutions on any would-be service provider, including any municipal corporations operating in or out of the District of Columbia. This is no doubt big news to those who counted on us forgetting who we are and forgetting what we are owed and from whom, and it's probably not exactly welcome news, either. The other principals have been operating in gross breach of trust for a century and a half and stuffing their pockets with unjust enrichment from America the entire time. They claimed a custodial interest in us and our assets that doesn't exist, and they lied to us and they lied about us to the entire rest of the world. These false claims and unlawful activities all result in injuries inflicted on innocent non-combatant civilian populations in violation of our treaties, constitutional agreements, and international law. We are therefore demanding the liquidation of these municipal corporations and the return of our assets, including our land, our gold and silver, and everything else that we have paid for and which they have purloined and misused for war profiteering abroad and racketeering against us at home. Charles Wilson left office in 1872, after a long attempt to reconnect with other Federation officials who had been murdered or forced to flee for their lives by marauding groups of thinly disguised Territorial, Union, cavalry acting in treasonous self-interested rebellion against the actual American government. 151 years later, we still honor Charles Wilson and continue our operations under our hereditary heads of state, confident that we will hold our elections for our long-vacant presidential office, and the day will come when we no longer speak of and toast Charles Wilson as the last American president, a day when we can all rest easy and content that the future of our country and our world is once again in the hands of honest and ethical men.